What up, peeps? It's your super sketch artist Antonio back, and it is time to run it back. This is the series where I take an older figure and I give it kind of like an upgrade or like a fresh coat of paint, or essentially make it to what I would like to see as a legacy card, which is something that we have in the game. So today we are going to go after a figure that I actually don't have, but one of my close clicks buddies and one of my former judges and one of my teammates that I won Team Worlds with in 2023. His name is McConnell. He loves this daggone figure and he uses it every chance he gets. And we are going to look at none other than Duhg from the Thor: The Dark World gravity feed set. Remember when we got gravity feeds of movies? I wish they would bring that back. With that being the case, first off, Duhg, as he stands right now, is 125 points. He has Duhg's army, armor, brute, monster, soldier, and warrior keyword. The thing about him was McConnell loves keyword cheating. We all actually do love some good keyword cheating, and Duhg makes it so that when building your force, his trait is when building your force, if Duhg is the highest point character, other characters that share a keyword with him also have the Duhg's army keyword. And on his first two clicks, he has a special power that says invulnerability and mastermind, which means the way that he is, a lot of times, I think they had like the Korg soldiers or like the rock soldiers that were like, from Korg's planet. And they were in that movie. Thor destroyed one of them right away, and they made them into giant figures. Like, they were really cool looking figures. I got like 6 or 7 of them, and they were 100 points. So they would be on Duhg's army because I think they have monster keyword, and he would be able to mastermind to them. So first things first, I don't have this figure, so that's why you will not see him in hand. But I have this. I don't have this figure, but I do have it pulled up on HC units now. First things first, I like Duhg's keywords. So I actually like that. One keyword that I would actually add to Duhg's army, since he was the one recruiting him, might be the ruler keyword. Since he was kind of like the guy in charge. I know that's a thing, but we just saw the Rhino get the ruler keyword in Smash and Destroy set, so why not give it to Duhg as well? When it comes to Duhg's trait, since Duhg has pretty much no special powers on his dial, if we want to give him a big slashing, swapping discount, like we've seen, again, just in the Smash and Destroy set, we saw the Hulk that was the Green Scar was 230 points and he got knocked all the way down to 75 points. So we definitely can do some cutting when it comes to this figure. So first things first, I like the keyword cheating. So what I would do is, instead of him having to be the highest point character, I would just say characters that share a keyword with Duhg gain Duhg's army keyword, period. Okay. Then what I would also say is to give him some spice and some zest. I was thinking about this, and at first I did 2 things. I thought of the Chase Tony Stark, where it's characters with the Duhg's army keyword can reduce damage by an additional 1, on top of like whatever key reduces they already have, which is great as a matter of fact. And then what I would, or it would be either that, or I would go from one of my favorite Wonder Women that we got in the Wonder Woman Generations box, which is Duhg can equip 3 characters with equipment of 10 points or less if they have Duhg's army. So now what you do is you automatically make this piece give everybody a keyword. So that's some keyword cheating. And then what you also do is you make it so now you get 3 free pieces of equipment. Yikes. This automatically, if they made that into a legacy card, this is one of the best figures in there, because just with brute, monster, and warrior alone, you have a plethora of characters. Then you add in armor. OMG. Even though the funny thing about it is he has armor on his sculpt, but he's not armored up. Like, this guy's got, his whole head is exposed, so he doesn't have no armor on, which is funny. But that's what I would do for his trait. And then what I would do for his defensive power is I would make it actually uh, impervious and then mastermind, because he has invuln and then he goes into toughness, then he goes into regen. So I kind of like the starting off with a strong defense and then going down a little bit. Or with the close combat that we have today, you could give him impervious and combat reflexes. That would give him a 19 up close and give him a way to potentially reduce damage all the way to 0, or reduce it by 3 if he kept the trait that gave him people with Duhg's army reduces damage by an additional 1. When it comes to anything else, I mean, you could load him up. You really could load him up because he is a barren wasteland when it comes to he's a barren wasteland. You could also do some stuff like you could lend some of the Rhino's trait, which is characters with Duhg's army can use charge and gain an additional 1 plus their speed. And what that does is that gives him essentially a move and attack his whole dial, and on his clicks where he actually already has charge, it helps him with his speed since he only has a 7 and an 8, which these speed values look like what we actually have in the game right now. But that rare Rhino is one of my favorite pieces in the game. But this, unlike the Rhino where it's specific to Sinister Syndicate where he gives them charge, it would just give everyone with his keyword charge and give them a +1. So this is what I would do with this Duhg. I never got this piece. I played against it a few times. I know people at one of the venues that I play at called King's Games in Brooklyn, New York. They hated seeing that piece because they knew that Mac, we call him Mac would come out with something that would be absolutely some kind of nuts team that encompasses a whole bunch of people, but they will all be Duhg's army. I think keyword cheating is one of the funner things in this game and adds so much different variety. I've been personally keyword cheating Spider-Man family thanks to Spider Cat, because Super Sword and Flash Raptor love being on a Spider-Man family team with all the utility that power that Spider-Man has, the Spider-Man family has. So that is what I would do with this figure Duhg. It's not really complex. I like what he generally already did. But the lastly thing I would probably do is, instead of this 125 points, that just won't go in today's game. I would knock him down. If you gave him what I gave him, which would be characters, not only is the keyword cheating, but the characters. So I guess either or. Chase, trait, I wouldn't do both, where he gets the keyword cheating would always be a thing, but I wouldn't do he reduces by an additional 1 or the free equipment. So let's just say free equipment, because everyone loves free equipment. With that being the case, and again, changes defense to, let's say, impervious and combat reflexes, what I would do is I would probably make him a clean 75 points, right? You get the keyword cheat, and you get free equipment, which is well worth the points. And you get, a way to potentially evade some or reduce some damage all the way to 0 instead of just taking it. Mastermind is okay, but in today's day and age, it's so easy to get around a piece that has Mastermind. A lot of people nowadays have dual targets, even close combat pieces with 0 range like he does. So I would make him about a good 75 points. And I think whenever you have regeneration and you have reducers on your dial, I think that actually works. And when you look at his dial, again, my test of how good a figure is can you take a clean 3 or 4 straight and still be okay? And if he takes a clean 3 or 4 damage, he still can actually deal out a good amount of damage on his own, especially if he has, again, having the brute and warrior keyword gives him the +1 longsword, him or someone else. And if you do the trait where he gets free equipment, he could add, say, the universal weapon for 10 points and have any, equipment that he wants. So I absolutely love that the addition of that. Now that I'm thinking about it, I could say add Asgardian keyword to him so that he could get Destroyer for free, but he really wasn't an Asgardian. He was in the 9 realms, but he was not an actual Asgardian. So I'm gonna pump my brakes on that. But with that being the case, what say you? What do you think about my additions and changes to this Duhg figure? Would you play it? Would you think he would be worth 75 points with the additions that I made? What is a figure that you would like to see me run it back? I have a list. I have a list of characters that I'm going down. So if you suggest it, it will get added to the list. I think the next figure that's up is GSX Phoenix, which is right. Is she right here? Right here, GSX Phoenix. A favorite figure of mine for back in the day. So that'll be a fun figure to run back. So please leave your comments below. I love talking clicks. I love just hearing what you have to say. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, share, all the YouTube things. But again, this is your Super Sketch artist, Antonio, running it back with you. Thank you for running it back with me. As always, be good to yourself, be good to others. Go be super.